have our Power Pressure Cooker XL 8-quart here. We just got done actually searing our pork loin. I thought I was recording this through a whole way, but what I did is I just seared it on all sides, top, bottom, and all sides. Got it ready. And actually the pressure cooker. Right now I actually have our vegetables getting ready to for searing.
4 potatoes, 4 carrots, and whole onion with olive oil, rosemary, garlic.
And we chopped it up with our Power Pressure Cooker XL chopper. Oh, I already chopped, so I don't need that.
And what did you season your pork loin with?
I don't know, Mother. What did you season the pork loin with? Soy sauce, olive oil, and some garlic powder.
California mix.
Shout out to Callie. I'm a garlic lover. I love garlic.
Me too. And this was spur of the moment.
Nice little sear. A little more olive oil.
Just for all you people who were curious about the Power Pressure Cooker XL like me.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It truly does smell amazing in here.
What setting did you use?
Currently I'm actually on the chicken and meat setting. It was the one recommended by Power Pressure Cooker XL online. And I'm getting ready to go to practice.
And how many minutes do we have to do this?
How many what?
How many minutes does it take?
2 minutes. 2 minutes of average sear. Getting ready to put the roast back in now.
We're going to take this out.
I want to get to the bottom.
Yeah.
Folks, be careful. This is actually a very hot pot, so when you take it out, use caution. Just a quick sear.
We could put more in there, but since we're experimenting, we're not doing the full recipe.
Let's shut it off for a second. All right, we just placed the pork loin back inside. Plenty of room. This is the 8-quart. We actually want the 10-quart, but we're working with what we got. You just want to go ahead and add all your ingredients back into the pot. Oh, this smells delicious. How's that look, folks? Do we have chicken stock?
Yes, we do.
I'm on my own going to add some chicken stock in. Just to make sure that it stays nice and moist inside. Because the last thing you want to do is burn this pot. When you read the reviews about that, they're not lying. When it burns, it burns. Just enough to create some moisture in there. Now the fun part. The one-touch button, which they lied about. It's not a one-touch button. You set it. On this one, they recommend the chicken meat button. Then you have to adjust it to 20 minutes for this pork loin specific recipe. Once you adjust it, you take your lid, make sure your seals and everything are in there properly. Set it on. You'll hear it fall into place. Turn it and lock. And make sure your valve here is in the locked position. Now that you're set, it's going to pressurize, and then you'll be done in about 25-30 minutes.
Which they also didn't tell you about.
It is a great thing to have, though.
The pressurized part is about how long?
On average, I've seen so far 10 to 20 minutes. And there you have it. We have our pork loin in the roast. We will be back as soon as it is completed. All right, we are back. We're down to about 3 minutes left. 2 minutes. 2 minutes and counting on our pressure cooker. Once again, just to remind you that we are on the chicken and meat section, or selection. What I had to do is I had to adjust it. All you do is right here, that time adjust button. It starts out at 15. You hit it 5 times, it goes up to 20. Simple math. Real quick, gonna go over everything that we got. One thing I do want to point out is this does come apart for cleaning. So I didn't know that till actually right now, so I want to point it out to everybody. That way you can get in there and make sure there's no food left in there.
Would you say that's a pass or fail?
Definitely a pass. I love this thing. Comes out completely different pieces.
Came with it?
Measuring cup. Don't know what we're going to use that for because we cook for Army. And a little ladle.
This all came with the pressure?
This was included in our Power Pressure Cooker XL 8-quart. In this recipe, we have our pork loin, our rosemary, garlic rubbed pork loin. I'm not a fan of pork loin because it's always dry. This, so hopefully, will be nice and juicy. They said that, we'll find out. In this, I did add some chicken broth on my own. The recipe did not call for it, but we season it with some soy sauce, extra virgin olive oil, garlic powder, pepper medley grinder, one of my favorite things, fresh pepper grounded, fresh garlic, used our chopper to chop it up. We didn't get that recorded because we thought we were recording. And we have some fresh rosemary and fresh parsley here, which you can find at your local grocery store. All right, we're down to our last minute here. One thing, once your timer goes off, it's going to automatically go into the keep warm function. You want to make sure, once it releases, and it should do here in a second, that you release the pressure on the steam valve. That is a must, because you cannot open the lid without opening that. And we'll get to it here in a second. All right, welcome back yet again. Take number 5. As I was saying before, we were getting ready to release the steam and take the roast out. Well, we got through that. The video cut off, so you guys didn't see that part. The roast wasn't quite done. We had about a 4 to 5 pound roast. I'm gonna go ahead and release the steam while I'm doing this. We had about a 4 to 5 pound roast. It called for about a 20-minute cook time, but it wasn't quite done. Remember, this is trial and error, so we are still learning as you learn, and we're letting you know. So what we did is we added some additional vegetables, some potatoes, carrots, onions, more seasoning, a little bit more chicken broth, to kind of give it a little more flavor, and to finish cooking the pork loin. We're now on our final 15 minutes. So far, has a total cook time this far of 35 minutes. We seared it, as you've seen in the beginning of the video, on all sides. Then we seared our potatoes and everything. What I would recommend after learning this is we would sear and cook the pork loin roast the first 20 minutes. After that, once the first timer goes off, we open it up, put your vegetables back in after that. Your carrots, your celery, your onions, your potatoes, all your seasonings, whatever you want to put into it. Then you put it back on the same setting, chicken and meat, for 15 minutes. That way, because we had to adjust our cutting style as well, because the first carrots came out a little bit mushy. As you'll see on the screen now, we cutted them a little bit thicker and left them whole, so hopefully they don't come out as mushy. But the potatoes were perfect, so I don't think no matter how you cut those, they're going to come out. Alright, steam has been released. Now the fun part. You get to open it up, just turn to unlock your lid. And as you see, all the steam and water, be careful with the water once again. And you see our pork roast, our tomatoes, everything's in there. So what we're going to do this time, instead of taking it out, we're going to get our trusty handy dandy thermometer. All right. Make sure you get it right in the center of the loin. And we are temping out at 165. So we are good to go. And as I pull the thermometer out, clear juices are running. So you know if you pull your thermometer out, if you're testing it, and you see blood, it's not done. This is one of the few meats you can't actually have blood in. All right.
So 160 or 180? We'll find out.
I'll post the temperatures here at the bottom of the screen once I double check. Don't want to steer anybody wrong. I want to make sure we get the right temperatures for everybody. All right. Again, this inner pot is extremely hot. So make sure you handle it with care. This one has a lot of juice in it, so I've misplaced my pot holders. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and whew. Beautiful. All right. As you can see, round 2, you didn't see round 1 last time, but just already I can tell carrots are much more. They have a little crispness to them, but they're all the way done. And potatoes are absolutely perfect.
And how many minutes was that?
This was an additional 15 minutes. As you can see where I first cut into my pork line.
For the pork, but not for the vegetables. How much for the
Vegetables were 15 minutes as well. All right, go ahead and flip this over. All right. Some of our fresh, remember our fresh seasoning there? All right. Beautiful. Still stay juicy. Even though we had to cook an additional time, it's still juicy and unbelievably. Just, you can see all the juices in it still.
The lighting's making it appear.
It looks a lot more pink than what it really is, but there's just a slight hint of red in there. But like I said, we tested it, temped it out, right in the center of the loin.
You're going to want to let it sit. You don't cut it right away anyways.
Normally you don't know. All right, we got our taste tester. You going to be our first taste tester here?
Yeah. Who might this be?
This is my wonderful brother here. Be careful, it's hot. Come over here. All right, it's hot. Let me know what you think. Do you like pork?
Yeah.
You do? Here, it's hot, so be careful. I'll try it with you.
Okay. What do you think?
Good.
Remember, folks, don't talk with food in your mouth. But it is delicious. A lot of flavor, a lot of juice. I say once we figure out actually how to work this, this would be a very good meal to make. So far, not quicker than an oven roasted, but just as good.
We're in the trial and error stage still too. And plus,
As you can hear my commentator in the back, we're still in trial and error stage.
you're going to want to let that sit and then it will finish cooking.
Yep. Nice. All the juice, flavors.
So would you say vegetables pass or fail?
Vegetables, definitely a pass.
Flavor-wise? Pass or fail?
Flavor-wise, a little more seasoning next time. I like flavor. It could use a lot more flavor, but like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't like pork because it dries out. This is far from dry. Can you use more flavor? Yes. Maybe, come up with your own seasonings. We all like to season. Let us know what you come up with down below in the comments, and maybe we'll try it out, make another video.
This versus roasted?
Definitely this versus roasted. This versus roasted, for one, the juiciness. It stays juicy. Pork, anybody that cooks pork, it's the hardest thing to cook. Because pork loin, excuse me, because it always dries out. No matter how hard you've tried, and I like to bake, so when it comes to the oven, I'm pretty good. This, I don't mess with. First time I've cooked pork loin in probably 2 years, and it is, about to cut myself. I can just show you can squeeze the juice out of it. It's amazing. And then you got your vegetables. I love vegetables, so everything, and they're crisp, they're perfect, they're not mushy, they're not hard. Everything came out perfect. Once again, I showed you earlier in the video how to cut up your vegetables. You want to make sure they're bigger because the way this cooks, it will turn them to mush.
And what kind of potatoes did you use for this one?
We used from Aldi's, believe it or not, for $2.49 for a 3-pound bag, golden yellow potatoes. And then as you can see here, our first round of carrots, they mushed. That was the kind of the bad feature to them. They were just mush. So when we added them in, we thickened them up, and now I can actually pick them up and squeeze them, and they don't just mush. All right, folks. This was our first DIY, or as my mother calls it, DYI. She's dyslexic, not really. We will be back with more. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to guess below, like and share this video, and we will be back with our next video.